Hey y'all, I guess I want to talk about dating. Um, Dating is basically when you're getting to know someone before um, a serious commitment um, or before marriage, okay? A lot of people definitions of dating is different than others, so you definitely have to make sure you get the correct definition um, of what a person um, mean when it comes to dating. Um, I know at the where I am in my life, I will only date to marry at this point. So I meaning as in if I started dating you, get in a relationship with you, meaning um you will know before we even go on a date, or you will know on the first date that, hey, I'm dating to marry, meaning not just dating just to date, okay? Because a lot of people are still dating, are still girlfriend or boyfriend, are still in just, relationships that haven't went to the level that it needs to go, okay? But going back to getting a definition, when you meet a person or when you're dealing with a person, it's very important that you get a clear understanding of exactly what that person mean by dating, because obviously people have different meanings when it comes to relationships when it comes to courtship and um, how they see it or what's their definition of it, okay? Meaning as if, let's say this, like some people when they're dating, they date multiple people, meaning they go on dates with multiple people, okay? Then you got some, they date one person at a time. So, not only that, when you get in a relationship with a person, some people will have you thinking that they're just in relationship with you, but they have different relationships going on, different friendships going on. They're in relationship with more than just you. So my definition of that is an open relationship. See, a lot of times you're thinking you're in a relationship, but you're not in a relationship because it's you, them, and y'all, okay? You, him, and them. You, him, and everybody, okay? So you have to definitely, or vice versa, you, her, and him too, okay? So it can work different ways on different, you just never know, okay? But like I said, you definitely want to know, like what the other person really mean, because they'll have you thinking, one thing and it's another thing. You know, so definitely be mindful of that when you're dating people, because like I said, you'll be thinking you're in a relationship, but in actuality, you're just in a relationship and they doing their thing. Or sometimes nowadays you got people that believes in open relationships, meaning that the relationship is open and that you know they do them and you do them. But not only that, you got some people that they want to do them, but they don't want you to do them. Do you? So that's where cheating come involved in. So cheating to me is when another person don't have the courage, the strength, the proper decency to let you know that they want to involve other people in your relationship without your knowing. So meaning that's when they try to get the upper hand to date or deal with other people without letting you know it, so that you won't do it or have the same opportunities that they have, okay? That's cheating, okay? Whether you playing cards, you playing a game, or it's with people, okay? Anytime you're not playing fair, you're cheating, right? So a lot of people won't play fair because they're afraid that you might find somebody before they find somebody, or you might find somebody better and you will reject them, right? So that's why a lot of times people play and end up playing themselves, okay? And that's the danger of cheating, because you end up playing in a time that you should be serious, okay? So, not only that, like I said, you want to make sure when you're dating people that you're dating people with the right intentions. Not only that, that you're dating people that are not only that has good character, okay? And will keep it real and let you know what's up. Anytime that something change, their feelings change, or when they feel like they want to do something different, then that should be known. Anytime you decide you want to do something different, you want to add other people into the relationship, then that becomes cheating. When you don't let a person know, alert them that something has changed with how you feel or your views, okay? So, when you're dating a person, you definitely want to make sure that you know who you are before you even get into their realm. You also want to make sure that they know who they are, what they want out of life, what they're trying to do. You just certain things you want to be clear on. You definitely want to be clear on, and you don't want to leave any room for confusion. So, not only that, dating multiple people can also become what they call a role of a player, right? Now, in today's age, people think a player is glorified, right? People think it's cool to be a player or to deal with multiple people. But in actuality, when you're dealing with multiple people, you take the attention off the person you should be giving your attention to. Not only that, it risks the chances of you getting confused. Not only that, when you're so-called want to have these options, then it risks you getting a counterfeit. Because guess what? Everything ain't real. It might have the illusion that everything is real or look good or is a good opportunity, a good option, but it's not. Nothing is ever equal when you're dealing with options. One is better than the other. And guess what? All the options are going to be different and of different value. But what's deep about it is at least two of those options is going to appear to be what you want, and it's not. It's going to be counterfeit. So when you're dealing with options and other things like that, that's why you got to be careful with trying to dibble and dab and everything and try to play around, because you end up getting confused and you end up choosing wrong, especially if you have the wrong intent. And when I say the wrong intent, meaning you weren't clear or you weren't open on this thing with the person that you're dealing with, okay? All people that you're dealing with need to be aware that, hey, you're not the only option. Everybody not is clear, everybody not is open, or everybody is not as brave to say, hey, man, I got a few people that I talk to. Me being me, I tell you. If you choose not to talk to me because of that, then that's on you. You can show your way out the door, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, a lot of people don't understand that you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. So, going back to this player thing, players are glorified these days, as if it's cool, but it's not, because it's a lot of downsides to being a player. You might think it gives the illusion of you winning, but you really losing, because like I said, you put your things in the wrong attention. And whenever you got too many things going on, your attention is not going to be where it needs to be. Or you're not going to give things the right attention equally. So meaning you miss out. Something is going to suffer. And 9 out of 10 is going to be you, the player. So a player is really a sugar daddy. Y'all can call it what it is, but y'all are really a sugar daddy, because it costs to be a player. You putting out. So you really a sugar daddy. A young sugar daddy, whatever you want to call it. And it's so unattractive. Or a sugar mama, whether you're a man or a woman. It's not sexy. It's not attractive. Okay? So, it costs, and it's definitely stressful, especially when you're not upfront about it, okay? When you're trying to hide it or you're trying to juggle different people. You let people know up front, then you don't have to hide anything, you don't have to be stressed out, and you don't have to put out like that. But it costs to date. And if you don't have the money, the finances, the resources to date, then you probably don't need to be dating. Probably need to be somewhere trying to get your money up, or trying to focus on who you are, especially if you haven't figured out who you are or where you're going or what you want in life. That's the last thing you probably should be focused on. And a lot of times we're trying to fill voids because we don't want to be alone. We date. So, before you start dating, you definitely want to make sure that you're not broken and that you're healed or whatnot. So there's two things. which I talked about making sure you know who you are when you start dating, being upfront with people, being clear about the definition when you're dating a person, knowing their definition, exactly what they're looking for, exactly what they're doing, and just be clear on it. Because like I said, a lot of people are confused and they'll confuse you. So it's very important to know those things. Not only that, but it's important that when you're dating, that you are healed and that you're not dating out of loneliness. You know, because you don't want to be alone. So you're looking for a person or mate because you don't want to be alone, or you're trying to fill a void, you know. And you're never going to be able to find it in no one. No matter how high, how low, you try to search looking for a person that's going to fill whatever void you have, whatever pain, whatever lack that you're dealing with, whatever insecurities you're dealing with. You need to deal with it. Because you're going to be disappointed because that person is not going to be able to give you that. Not only that, you need to make sure that you have dealt with your insecurities before you date. Because if you haven't dealt with your insecurities, I promise you, that person that you're looking for, that you dating, that you might co-sign, I can't even talk right now. Take this thing out of my mouth. Get it. That you might call yourself trying to be with and trying to build with and trying to have something with. If you have insecurities, I promise you, they will be exposed when you date a person. So it's probably best that you deal with that insecurity before you start dating, because it will affect that your dating preferences. Or whatnot. So those are a few things I want to touch on when you're being mindful of dating, knowing who you with, what you dealing with. And like I said, you want to definitely make sure their character and they are who they say they are, because when you're dating people and you're first meeting people, you meet their representatives. You don't meet their real person, and you need to see them when they mad, when they sad, when they're angry, in every different season. You need to know how to handle disappointment. You know, like I said, you could be with a person all your life, you know, and still not know them. You know, you could be married to people and you still don't know them. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of pieces to it. It's a lot of things to people. You know, you could have a dad or a mom, this stuff, you still don't know everything about them. You still learning stuff. I promise you, it's something you don't know about your mom or your dad. So you have to think about that when you're dating people or when you're dealing with people, when you're in relationships. It's always something to learn about them. It's always something to know. So with that being said, you will never know what you need to know when it comes to relationships and dating people and trying to find out what you think you know. Because I promise you, you ain't even scratching the surface when you're just dating a person. And a lot of times it's not until you marry a person that the cover comes from over them. So that's why it's very important that, when you're dating people or when you're dealing with people, you definitely want to start off as friends. I want to start off as friends. You learn things better when you're someone's friend. People are more open and more willing to express things and share things when you're their friends. My best relationships started from friendships. Some of the best relationships I have, especially with the opposite of sex, with males, are friendships. And they're the deepest and the most intimate because we're friends first. And even if it never go past it, it's still like, man, like, I got this friend that I can share whatever with. And he can give me a male's point of view on things. Or vice versa, or even if it was a woman, they can give you that and not judge you. So it's very important that you, like I said, you become friends first when you're dating. So, y'all be good.